Here's your podcast segment. The headline from the New York Times: U.S. indicates a deal to suspend attacks in Strait, but Iran hasn't confirmed. Here's where things stand this morning. A U.S. official, speaking anonymously to discuss ongoing negotiations, says the United States and Iran have agreed to halt attacks in the Strait of Hormuz and allow vessels to pass through freely. That sounds like progress. But there's a catch: Iran has not confirmed that any such agreement exists. And in fact, a member of the office that publishes the works of Iran's supreme leader told state television that Iran has cancelled the very technical talks those negotiations were meant to continue. So what are we actually looking at here? A fragile, 2-week-old ceasefire that has been fraying fast. The trouble started last week when a cargo ship was attacked in the Strait. U.S. officials blamed Iran, saying it launched drone strikes on 2 vessels in the waterway in recent days. Iran hasn't claimed responsibility for those strikes, but on Sunday, Iran's foreign minister declared that his country alone has the authority to manage commercial traffic through the Strait of Hormuz. That's a significant statement, and it gets at the heart of why this waterway matters so much. The Strait of Hormuz is narrow, it sits between Iran and Oman, and under normal circumstances it carries as much as 1/5 of the world's oil supply. Iran had agreed to fully reopen it as part of the ceasefire deal. But attacks on ships are now threatening to deter vessels from passing through at all. And markets are already feeling it. Oil prices ticked up more than 1% on Sunday as trading resumed. Brent crude crossed $73 a barrel. West Texas Intermediate hit around $70. And while those moves are modest, drivers are already paying about 30% more for gas than they were when the war began, a national average of $3.87 a gallon as of Sunday. Meanwhile, the weekend saw a serious escalation. On Sunday, Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps said it targeted a U.S. naval base in Bahrain and an air base in Kuwait with drones and missiles, calling it retaliation for American strikes. A second U.S. official said those Iranian projectiles were shot down, intercepted, or failed to reach their targets. The governments of Kuwait and Bahrain both confirmed there were no casualties. But the rhetoric is sharp. Iran's Revolutionary Guards warned that American bases in the region will be experiencing hell during these days. And President Trump said on Saturday that the United States would annihilate Iran if forced to return to full-scale war. Analysts, for their part, say neither side appears eager for that outcome. The U.S. and Iran have been trading accusations over who violated the ceasefire first, but the underlying diplomatic framework, a memorandum of understanding, is still the basis for ongoing talks, at least according to the American side. There are other fronts here too. Iran's foreign minister traveled to Baghdad on Sunday, where he met with Iraq's president and national security advisor. He alleged that the U.S. and Israel had violated parts of the ceasefire agreement, calling it a serious obstacle to regional stability. He also called for a regional security framework led by countries in the area, not outside military powers. Meanwhile, in Lebanon, fighting has continued despite a U.S.-backed deal reached Friday that was supposed to lead to a gradual Israeli troop withdrawal from the south. Hezbollah, which is backed by Iran, has rejected that deal. More than 4,200 people have been killed and over 12,000 injured since fighting between Israel and Hezbollah reignited in early March. The bottom line: a ceasefire exists on paper, but on the ground and at sea, hostilities haven't stopped, and the diplomatic picture shifted again Sunday night when Iran signaled it was pulling back from the negotiating table. We'll keep watching this one closely.